welcome to this video. I am Nicola, I'm a yoga teacher, yoga therapist and fellow HSP. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some of my top 10 tips for navigating Christmas as a highly sensitive person. So Christmas, as I've mentioned in a previous video, presents quite a few challenges for sensitives if we perhaps don't consider our sensitive selves. So I'm going to go through 10 of my top tips, and actually as I was going through these tips myself, it was some really good reminders for me, so I really hope that they'll be useful to you too. Okay, let's begin. So let's start by saying that Christmas brings a lot of elements that can feed into overwhelm. More than a lot of the other times in the year, we have too much of a lot of stuff. So my first tip, number one, is about simplifying. So simplifying wherever possible, making things that are complicated less complicated. So for example, let's just start with the dinner. If you're responsible for cooking your Christmas dinner, where can you streamline it? Where can you go for a minimal approach? There's a huge amount of pressure still about what the perfect Christmas looks like and what the perfect Christmas dinner looks like. Really, we know that's just tosh, don't we? Where can you simplify? Because that will be taking less space up in your mind, and it's just another thing where we can take the too muchness out. So whether it's looking at the calendar and thinking about how you can simplify your social events, or how you can simplify the cooking. Maybe it's going to, I was going to say a shop then that makes really nice ready-made Christmas dinners, but you could go to a shop and get a ready-made Christmas dinner rather than having to think and plan about all of the different elements. I'm using the Christmas dinner as an example, but applying that to the rest of your Christmas experience, and not just thinking about Christmas Day itself, but that kind of Christmas period. So number two, I really like this one. So what about setting an intention for this period of time? So the holiday season, the Christmas season, can you go in with intention? So, you know, you might even write yourself out like a little statement of what you want to achieve or experience is probably a better word at this time of the year. Do you intend to have a peaceful Christmas? Do you intend to have a simple Christmas, like in my previous point? Do you intend to spend time with just a few special people? And once you've got this intention together and you've got an idea of exactly how you want to experience this Christmas, share it with your family. Share it with your family and maybe invite them to share what they want out of this Christmas. And if there's some clashing there, then you at least you've got a shared understanding of what everybody is looking for this Christmas, and then you can, you know, navigate together to make sure that everybody is getting what they want out of this time of the year. Okay, number three, know and accept your limits. This is a really tough one because I think it takes quite a while, especially if you're a highly sensitive person that's kind of recovering from early childhood trauma and kind of patterns such as people pleasing and so on. But once we accept where our limits are and we become really in tune with ourselves, we can know that point where it's like, no, that's too much. And don't be afraid to change plans last minute. You know, if you feel at the time that planning a particular social event in was a good idea, but then you get to it and you just know you're spent, the people that know you will understand you cancelling. You could even go in with I really want to do this thing with you, but I know I've got X, Y, and Z that week, so can we just say there might be a chance that I might cancel? Or just consider your calendar and how much time and energy you feel you can give. Accepting your limits is a tough one, but we can't do everything. We can't be everything to everybody, and we'll benefit much more if we just stick to those small things that we feel we can do, rather than trying to spread ourselves too thin and then ending up going into overwhelm and all the rest of it. And also knowing that our capacity for stuff will change throughout life, throughout the day, throughout the seasons. And it's okay if your capacity for seeing loads of people and doing all the things is not so big at the moment. Okay, this kind of links in to number 4. So I mentioned this in a previous video, boundaries. Boundaries are your best friend. It's something I've been working on a long time now. I'm much better at setting boundaries. Possibly I set too many, I don't know. But some things for this time of the year would be if you've got a social occasion or you're seeing family, and especially if they're coming to you, avoid that if you can, unless you would prefer to be in your own space. Set an end time. So yeah, I would love to see you. Why don't you come round for some, I don't know, tea and mince pies, and maybe arrive around such and such time, and we'll run on until such and such time. You can always say, yeah, that'd be lovely. I'm looking to have an early night that night, so are we all right to close things at about, I don't know, 6 or whatever. Say no is another element of this. This can be quite tricky to say no. I know we don't want to let people down. If it's difficult, I find it particularly difficult to say no if somebody's asking me in person and I'm not sure. As deep thinkers, we need to go away and kind of integrate that and figure out whether it's right or not. So what's a good phrase to use is, that sounds really nice. I'm going to have a look at my diary. I'm going to see if that works and I'll get back to you. And then that gives you a little pause. And if it is still a no, you can say, I'm really sorry, that's not going to work, or it just isn't going to fit in for me right now, or whatever. And of course, linked to this whole setting boundaries is what I was saying a moment ago, is rather than have people come to you, go to them, because then you can come away, when you feel you've had enough. Okay, number 5, again, linked to the previous ones, quiet time and alone time. And please speak to your family and friends about this, or the people that are around you. Make sure you literally pencil it in, or not even pencil it in, with a Sharpie marker right on your diary, your calendar, when you are going to go and have some quiet time. And that might look different for you. It might be going for a quiet walk on your own. It might be going to lie on your bed and lying down and closing your eyes for 10 minutes. It might be going to do a yoga practice on your own. It might be something else. It might even be just going to sit and watch a film on your own. Whatever it is, make sure you get it, especially over that Christmas period when there's lots of peopling. You're going to have to take yourself off daily. Well, this is what I have to do anyway. You have to have that time alone. And I still actually struggle to know that point where I need to claw it back. So I have to plan it in. Because it can be really difficult to kind of gather yourself from kind of being out there with other people to keep checking in with yourself. So it's better if you just plan it in anyway, so that at least you keep coming back to yourself to check in and just recoup. So yeah, plan it in. Number 6 is mindfulness. So bringing in mindfulness, and you can bring this into your quiet time. So if your quiet time is just sitting and watching a film, that's fine. But if you're going on a walk, or you're doing some yoga or whatever it is, or you're just lying down on the bed, just let yourself really come into your body and into your senses to notice the sounds, notice the smells, and there's going to be a lot of sights and smells, but just notice from a place of quietness, where you're not being dragged into other people's stuff and all of that. You're just in your body, and notice what is happening for you. I think one of the issues with being highly sensitive, we're constantly being drawn out into the external world, into other people's stuff, into the kind of sensory stuff that's going on, and we can lose that center of ourselves. We can lose that connection to what's going on for us, and that's when we can forget to tend to our needs. So bring that mindfulness into your body to notice what you're feeling, and then that might inform you of what you need. It might be that actually you're okay. You need to connect with others. It might be that you notice, actually, I've really overindulged in cake and I just need to go and drink a nice herbal tea and not not eat for a bit. But yeah, keep coming back to yourself. Number 7, plan in some self-care that works for you. So in addition to some quiet time, some alone time, can you maybe just plan in, particularly in that week in between Christmas and New Year, can you plan in, I don't know, either going to see a trusted friend or a massage or something extra special that's like an act of love to yourself, a gift to yourself, because I know so many of us highly sensitive people are the givers, the carers. You know, I know lots of you are going to be wanting to make this Christmas really special for your loved ones. Can you just plan in some extra special self-care for yourself? Something that's a real gift that's going to nurture you at this time of year. Number 8, I love this one, is preparing for events. So I like to have, if I've got a very people-y event that I know is tricky for me, there's maybe not all my kind of people and there's a lot, maybe it's a big group and it's not really my thing, but I know it's unavoidable, maybe it's a family party, I'm just going to slide that one in there. I will make sure that I have some space before the event where I can be alone. I mean, I've got 2 children, so it's limited, but I'll make sure I have some time alone. Make sure maybe I have a walk, and then I will not plan anything the day after because I will need to reconnect myself back together again and just recoup and restore. So take a look at your calendar and just, you know, look at what you might need to put in for yourself around those events. Number 9, this is a hard one. I know it doesn't always feel possible, but being honest with your family and friends about your high sensitivity. If this is brand new to you and you're just finding out that you're a highly sensitive person, or you've known for a bit but you've not shared it with anybody, this is a real chance to begin to talk about the trait. I know it's difficult because it's still not widely accepted. There's not a huge amount of awareness still with the trait, but it is a trait. It is normal and natural. It's just part of being human. Some of us are more sensitive than others, and it is a gift, although it can present challenges, particularly in the modern world that we live in. And so sharing that with your friends and family can just help them to understand a little bit more about why you might need a slightly different approach to your self-care and your socialising and all the rest of it. Little kind of caveat there, when you do share about this trait, make sure that it's with somebody who is someone you can trust. If it's not someone that you can trust, then maybe don't. Just kind of feel it out and see if this is, a person that's going to, all right, they might find it difficult to understand to begin with, but are they somebody that will be open to receiving that information? Okay. Final one, number 10, is to be kind to yourself. Again, I know this can be really hard, but try to come at it from a point of really tapping into the people that you love in your life and how much kindness you show them, the words you say to them, the things you do for them, the way you treat them, and the way you don't treat them, and just kind of refocus that same lens on yourself. I used to, and I still from time to time slip into this, I used to have a really terrible habit of when I made a mistake, I'd say, oh, that was stupid, stupid woman. And I would never say that to anybody. So I have resolved to not say it to myself. So just little things like that, little ways of being kind to yourself. Maybe it's taking extra care in making yourself a lunch rather than just chucking something together. Maybe it's, you know, getting your bed set up beautifully with a nice hot chocolate and doing all the special touches so that you can really enjoy that time relaxing with a book or whatever it is. So there you go. They are my 10 tips for navigating Christmas as a highly sensitive person. I would love to hear how you will be navigating Christmas, and are there any challenges that I've left out that you would like support with or help with or ideas. Let me know in the comments below, and if you have liked this video, please hit the like button, share it with anybody that you think might benefit, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, take care for now, and I will see you on the next video.